All right, guys, welcome. We'll have UK session, Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think everything is working. Still doing my checks. New to the game. All right, I'm gonna mark my Asia session. Range. Go. You're 2 minutes from being in the gap. All right. Try to put my timer on in time as well. So far on the 1 hour, we did get that M and potential drop level 1. Setup I like when Asia is trending like this is for UK to range or retrace, and often in US have the entry at 50% of the Asia range, which at the same time right now is going to be the 50 EMA. So key zone, if we actually going lower and keep to be able to enter a short. So not sure what UK is going to present today. Let me make sure, yeah, 43 seconds. Exact same on Ethereum. This morning, the setup on the 5 minute was just telling me like it looked a bit hard to go short, but it looked like here on the 1 hour, retested that 50 EMA, 50% of Monday's range, and down. He actually tapped those range lows here on Ethereum, that pink range. I'm gonna hide it, by the way. So it's a bit less cluttered. All right, 5 seconds. Oops, timer in. See, I always missed the 5 minute candle. I'm gonna try to reset it on the next 5 minute candle. So from that higher picture, 1 hour M, retesting the high of previous week, you got 1, 2. That's why either we get 3 now, and the entry is going to be difficult. I just don't really like when you just slowly bleed like this. It might happen, you know, slow bleed and a drop. Yeah. Nothing super obvious for now. And we're still in that range. Try to clear up a bit of everything. I like to keep my drawings on for when I do my weekly recap on Sunday. So hopefully it's not too messy for you. We'll see. This is a good supply zone to get retested in the future. If we do get back to 50% of Asia and that 50 EMA on the 1 hour. It's the last candle that grabbed liquidity, last up candle that grabbed liquidity before a big move down with displacement. You can see here fair value gap. Broke structure. Bitcoin, Ethereum took all these lows. Yeah, it's a bit crap, and we've got the FOMC minutes end of US, so there's still time, and we might still get set up. It's not like usually news or in the UK extension, so you have to wait after the news event for US to open, and sometimes an hour into US to be able to get a good trade. Let's see. Welcome to the waiting room, where we just wait for hours that something nice presents. I'll try to reset that timer to a couple seconds. There we go. 3 seconds before the candle close. We are set. We are set. Had a good break between Asia and UK. Went outside a bit, and then worked on a little YouTube short that I haven't finished. Almost. No music this afternoon. No music. Unless it's very boring. It is boring. Trading is mostly boring most of the time. Then you get a burst of like tension, like this morning when I was focused trying to see if we were holding this level to go long. I had two plans in mind this morning. Was either to break after the sweep of those lows with this nice W holding this week. Wanted to break higher and retest. Didn't get that, and I said as well that my other option was if this W fails, it's just going to create an M somewhere here for continuation. So this is what we did, but it was a bit low in my opinion. That's why I wasn't keen to short. I don't think I had any reason to short. And this was still strong. The only reason I would have had to short is I get that the way I could have short. Still, it's like once we broke that level, but then the stop loss was a bit crap. Wasn't ideal. Not at all. I saw this as bearish. Railroad track inverted hammer. Trying to see if I really missed something or just not super clear for me. So I'd rather stay out. I'd rather miss a trade than jump onto something not super confident. I might do, sometimes at times, like everybody. I did certainly in the last few months. All the mistakes I did, average trading. It's difficult. But we're on a good streak, three wins in a row lately, so I just wanna stay on that. It's not like a loss is gonna hurt, it's part of the game. It's definitely part of the game. You gotta accept the losses sometimes. You need to take that shot. If the odds are skewed in your favor, it is good. Take the risk. It's part of the plan. We're at low of previous day. Tuesday's low. Do we play, if something present nice, a retrace to that displacement, that supply, that 50% of Asia? We already swept that low. So this is Asian extension. So usually mark my Asia range before that. So we did sweep it. There's divergence here between the two assets. ETH is hitting that 4-hour 200 EMA, which is a decent level. Holding 50% of that week. I don't really have, candle that's a breaker. It made us take this low. And then that we're gonna retest now if I want to go long. Sort of the setup I would like to see. It would have been better on a small time frame. We'll see. Do we manage to break now and touch that 200 EMA on the 1 hour before retracing to that zone, or are we gonna retrace now before going lower? If we are to have marked a high here, which is highly probable. Nice. Didn't revisit the week this week here. I'm not entering just off a low like this, second pick. I want a breaker would be ideal. And it's counter trend, so very risky. Only the first streams. I can't wait for this to get a little bit bigger, so be able to have a bit more chat and questions. Once I get more people watching, it's gonna be nice. In those off times, like now, waiting for the setup. Yeah, not my style to enter just off that low, so patience has been working for us, so we're just gonna keep it that way. I'm not an aggressive trader. Plus, honestly, it's something to do the stream, you know, has sort of have to manage it, speaking is good. I think it makes the trading better because you hear yourself out loud. But yeah, peer pressure as well of people watching. You know, I make a mistake. It's part of the game, like I said. It's not like I have to prove something at all. I'm just documenting the journey. I like that we had 3 pushes down. 1, 2, 3. Take the low. Same on it on ETH here. 1, 2, 3. There's a high likelihood that this low is the 61.8. People would have gone long here. Boom, those people get taken out. I can bet it. Oh, 78.6. Same key level. Yeah, I'm stupid. 61.8 is much higher, closer to 50% of the range. We're holding this. 78.6, really good level to go for long. I mean, it's optimal retrace. I like it. I used to take this setup, but it's aggressive. Depends where it is. Maybe I'll take it. But when you have this retrace, you'd see a reaction here, and price would move higher. I don't remember if I was taking those highs this high or not. Induce people in and then take those out, take the 78.6 and continue, which is pretty much what we got here. But still down, still very much down, which is normal for an inside leg over if it's to be a W. Yeah, too aggressive. You know, when you enter like this, it's like catching a falling knife. You've got a high low here, but it's just a high low. The trend is still very much down. or the EMAs are above. That's why the aggressive entry of the W, second peak M, second peak W is very dangerous. And yeah, this is terrible, terrible range price action. No news week, maybe what it is. Curious to see if it's just a bleed down until we make new lows, or if we will do at some point at least take some highs before reversing. It will make more sense than one of the two assets would. Usually it's Bitcoin. Bitcoin is way more prone on grabbing the liquidity, but here Ethereum is the closest to that one. I think Bitcoin has been a bit weaker than all the altcoins as well lately. I don't really double check Bitcoin dominance, total 3, total 2. Doesn't really change my trading. I used to watch at all these things. When you start, you're gonna watch so many things and think you're gonna, how you need more indicators, and you're always gonna find something that's gonna tell you where the market's going. But it's not the case. It's just it clutters your mind a bit, in my opinion. Everybody trades different. Um, yeah, so I've stopped watching all these things. Doesn't change my trading, and I'm not really trying to pinpoint the higher time frames. I don't trade the higher time frames. Probably want to have a look at it on a really broader picture on weekly, monthly, if you want to invest for the next cycle. Try to find the good point, not trying to nail the low, but have a rough idea where tides are changing. But like Ben Cowan said, there's not going to be any bull run unless we get aggressive rate cuts. That there's something that's broken in the system. Volume must be terrible. Yeah, it's way less than last week. Yeah. Last week was good. Last week was good for trading. It's a really good week. I didn't capitalize on a lot of moves. I ended up getting my win on Friday, but there was more opportunities before that. It was a good week. Good week with opportunities. I used to look at open interest as well a lot. I don't. It's there because it was there before. But volume is a big thing. Usually you see the volume into, the candles. This big candle displacement, obviously massive volume. Big wick, big volume. can be a tell sign about something else, but same something else to look at, and I don't. I do when I'm bored like this. It's not that I'm trying to find something that tells me to enter a trade. It's just yeah, something to look at. Yep. We're still in a gap. Session's still not open. Looks like we are reversing so far, a little bit. Gonna wait for the open. 5 minutes. But yeah, like I said, not entering off here. I need more. It's counter trend, and I'm not that aggressive. I like that. It's little two railroad tracks candles. Very happy to let that long pass. Not my style of trading. Good liquidity sweep of Asia range and previous day low on Bitcoin. Sorry, that's my. It's like a ball I have on my desk. It's like something you put against your neck and your back, but I guess I got it here to just play with. I've been watching streams of other traders, and it's just all about entertainment, colors and show and screaming, and I'm like, how can you trade properly being like this? It's not can't be real, you know. The sadness is this is how it is right now, all the time. Just waiting game. So I'm gonna cut this session. What's been half an hour already. I wouldn't like to go more than 2 hours. That's an hour and a half. It's not even, yeah. I like to trade 2 to 3 hours into my session. So that's already another 2 hours. We'll see if we go until 8:30. It can be a massive stream. Just focus on trying to get the move at the open or something within the first 2 hours if it presents. I guess we are gonna have to put a little bit of music. This was still a good sign for those that are aggressive. Something like this. Target 50% of Asia. Or even those highs. Those highs here. Well, that's supply at best. But first 50% of Asia, here you see you got that 200 and 800 EMA on the 5 minute. That will make you take those highs on Bitcoin. Clearly see the displacement here. Highly likely gonna get revisited. But not always. Not always. I'm not in that trade. I was saying when I said earlier about those two railroad tracks that someone that is an aggressive trader would probably be keen on entering this. You got the same 2 candles here on Ethereum, but this is not my style. And like I said, I don't even have like a breaker to look at to take a trade long, which is counter trend. So let's see if we go high here at the start of the session and start retracing, or if that's going to be a whole UK session retracing to 50% of Asia before the US short, which I'm not trading US. And tomorrow is back to work for the rest of the week, so only going to be trading UK Thursday and Friday. Maybe not Friday. We'll see. I got training on Friday. When it's my work days, I just trading is secondary. Oh yeah, I said music. You're gonna keep playing music until YouTube says something.
I never take a day off, work around the clock, my engineer getting paid off. Rock like Ace up, like the weed and take off. So high, cannot see, ain't off. Now I got these rappers all breaking up sweat. Cause every time I get up on them, I become correct. And I learned it from the best, always learning something fresh. Looking for a little dime, big butt and nice chest. Yes, it hurt, I used to rock yes, but now I'm rocking clothes that ain't in the stores yet. Travel back in time.
It's very known music though. This is, you know, when you get into trouble. Never know where to put the volume at. Oh, I just realized something so good about the sound. I was wondering how much of the volume of my laptop we would hear, but I don't have to put the volume in my laptop. Everything I just said probably doesn't make sense. So far that long is playing out.
In the city, remember used to drive a Yukon. I pick up whenever you call, like in a parking lot in Tucson. Are you with me? In a Phantom with the roof gone. I pull up like Jimmy Neutron. I get up, you get a move on, like you hard and I know you like to go slow, but we can go faster. Just tell me the password. Slide City, you know what that means. I'm coming up on you quickly. I bring nice things, yeah. Slide City, slide. Plenty other men trying to get in the bed, so I'ma get slouched instead. You know it's gonna make you bad. What would I do if I didn't love you, baby? What would I do if I didn't love you, baby? What would I do? If I didn't love you? I just wanna be the one to give you what you want. I could put you in, I get Saint Laurent, ride around town with your hair done now. I know you like it when I tell you what you want, what you want, what you want, what you want. I can tell your friends you move, oh, 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 yeah. You like to go slow, but we can go faster.
If you want to see how good patience pays out, that session from this morning was a good example.
I'm coming up on you quickly. I bring nice things, yeah. Slide city, slide. Plenty of the men trying to get in the bed. So I'ma get sloshed instead. You know it's gonna make you bad. What would I do? Yeah. If I didn't love you, baby, what would I do? If I didn't love you, baby, what would I do? If I didn't love you.
Sorry for the volume going up and down. Just trying to find the ideal settings on this.
Somewhere beyond the rings of Saturn, yeah. Your legs in hand, don't tiny stripes. You know I like to chase the pattern. The velvet touches round my temples, stir emotions I can't fathom. Your legs at least, your crystal rings, they grip my face between your legs. I swear it's satin. You slick with lips, all twisted, acting like you love me, but the shit you say feel practice. Yeah. So why'd you have to leave me?
Sometimes you have weeks, entire weeks like this, where every session. I mean, we just opened now, so you know, this is being impatient. But you have every day it's just waiting, nothing's there. Entire weeks of no setups.
Somewhere beyond the rings of Saturn. Light on the dark in the room, sky buzzing, start coming soon. Fist full of guard, then you bloom. Eyes squeezing tight for the fumes.
5-minute candle close.
White on my tongue for the views. Eyes turning red from the blue. Stripes through the curtain like a fuse. This ain't love. This ain't the shit that I would promise, baby. I can't wake up. Your side the bed you left so hollow, baby. So baby, don't you make me wait. You my swisher, you my sweet escape. I think you left me at my lowest place. Bloody hell.
Hey Casper. I was wondering if it was you watching or not. Can only be one person. What's on for the day?
This ain't the shit that I was promised. I can't wake up. Your side of bed you look so hollow. Baby, why'd you make me wait? You my sweet escape, yeah. Somewhere beyond the rings of Saturn, oh, yeah, no.
Ethereum still below previous day. Still within the Asia range. Didn't grab the lows. Bitcoin did. Bitcoin already reclaimed previous day's range. But other than that, man, this is just observations. It's pretty crap. We're in a range. Both assets took the lows and the highs, and we're still within that range. Oh, awesome, man. 2 winning trades. 2 winning trades, 1 loss. That's good. That's a good win rate. For the week, for the day. If it's for the day, do you stop? Do you have maximum losses that you allow yourself, you know? I do have max of 2 losses per day and max of 4 losses per week. Like if it's only losses, but I'll try to aim for 1 or 2 good trades per week. There's weeks where I took 5 trades. Not 5 losses though. But those limits are really good. Especially the two losses per day is good, because if you have a 2-hour or 3-hour average target, then you can't lose more than you're gonna make the next day if you have a good trade, which is good for the day. Good, man. Nice. On the DAX, max of 5% every trade. Oh, cool. I like those numbers, man. Very protective. It's nice. I don't want to see 5% risk. Is a DAX a good mover, and then how do you trade? What do you trade? Like sort of system, or like mine is market maker model for like my bias, and then yeah, basic SMC and sort of ICT, demand, supply, demand. But I still try to rely on the model as much as possible, which is information of the 50 EMA. Drop 1, breaks the 50, drop 2, breaks 200, drop 3, and then reverse from there. That's the ideal model. Okay, opening of DAX, price action, consolidation or direction. Like, would you trade within a consolidation, like range trading? Did break at 50 on the 5 minute, retested it. Just yeah, not my setup. Open stuff like this. The resistance is just up there to like 50% Asia. That supply is just there. It's nothing worth it. Is the ratio sound like music talking is it fine? I'm trying to listen at the same time on my phone, but then I'll have the ideal settings. Okay, so range trading or trend trading. Which one's your favorite? I feel like myself, I like when the model is clear and then the levels are clear. So we might be trending, but a healthy retraces. If like in the bull run, those parabolic moves, I used to hate it. And then recently when we'll be going down for days, I hate it too because I find it really hard to get an entry, and you'll have something like a big drop and sort of this, and drop again, and you never save from like a sharp retrace before continuation. So yeah, when we drop constantly or up constantly, I don't really like it. Like this morning, this is a decent retrace, liquidity retest here of the EMAs. I could have gone short, but when it's like this, lower highs and drop again, it's like when you have those big drops for days. Yeah, I don't like it. And sometimes because I go to the 2-minute or 5-minute, like this is good. Like I like stuff like this, even though like price action is a bit crap. But for it was here, right? Last week, Wednesday, yeah, the day I was drinking. But for example, over this whole week, you have the price moving that much. But for me, it was a good long. When I look back at it, it was a good long here and a good short here and done. So it's crazy a bit of the week's doing all this, but I can find my ideal setups just in here. If it's on lower time frames.
Quand tu commences à palper, il y a des règles à apprendre si tu veux continuer. Tu dois apprendre à faire la différence entre les armes et le beurre. Les armes, qu'est-ce que c'est? Les armes.
What laptop do I have? Lenovo Legion. It's like a gaming laptop. People told me to take Apple, but I'm not keen on taking Apple. Always like Windows, so decent, strong gaming laptop to be able to do all this. Everything's working fine. I'm not a gamer. Only games I played was WRC. Car game. Oh, do you? Nice. Are you happy with it? So far, I'm super happy with it. Like, it's a game changer from the one I had before. Happy to know that someone else is using it. I think it's pretty common gaming laptop. Yeah, pretty fast. Fast as fuck, boy. Well, so far so good with like direction of the bit of a reversal. I guess with time, and experience, might add a bit more setups to all the setups I like to take, but I just never feel confident getting the peak reversals, like that aggressive entry. If you have a massive buffer on your account as well, maybe more willing to take aggressive trade. It's like there's a term for it. When you adapt your trading to where you're sitting on your account. Or oops, French rap. This is French reggae, good artist. I'm gonna play it now. If it's working.
Petite Marie, je parle de toi parce qu'avec ta petite voix, tes petites manies, tu as versé sur ma vie des milliers de roses. Petite furie, je me bats pour toi pour que dans 10 000 ans de ça, on se retrouve à l'abri. Sous un ciel aussi joli que des milliers de
Azure session, I was looking, because we were still in that range. Ethereum was exactly at the 50% of that range too, and I thought we were gonna keep going up. So like I explained, this was my order was taken, I had a nice W. I was waiting for, I said before we started, I said I want to break in a nice retest to go long, or I want to see that W fail and have an M, but I had this like higher up there. And then showing me that it was still weakness and we were gonna go lower. But I didn't want to flip short until like, because we could have still hold this level and go up. So, but yeah, there was a bit of a clean rejection here. Railroad track, inverted hammer of all these EMAs. Just wasn't keen to short that. But, clean sweep here. That's why I was not keen on going long, because we couldn't break that middle peak. Rejection on Bitcoin both. And then we ended up, yeah, going under the EMAs, retesting. This could have been, ideally, this is hindsight as usual. This was the short, the W fading and continuation, recovering this imbalance. So no trades again. I really fumbled it on Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday Asia. Tuesday Asia was the setup. I had in my plan of us breaking this demand and retesting it, turning into a breaker, which we did, but only. Stop, the music is distracting me. Which we ended up retesting perfectly in the head of UK. But this candle here, breaking the 50 MA with volume, is a setup I used to take a lot. So that was your M here, and you even have a tiny M within the second leg of the higher time frame M. That retest, 50% of that candle, the 50 EMA, it's good entry, and then retesting at the same time the high of previous week. And then you can watch the stream I was looking at on the 2 minute. It was just so beautiful. I'm like, oh, should I? And I should have. Before this when this candle was printed, or once it printed, bearish engulfing, I said if this prints as an inverted hammer, there's a trade here. So like this. And it did print like this. I'm like, oh, don't tempt me, because my plan was to only enter once this was broken and retested. We did have a big retrace into at entry and into drawdown, which would have been sketchy. But I think this was weekly open, and all these two lows into this whole imbalance. First targets as well. Something I like to do is if I'm gonna leave the chart, I'll still leave my TP on, and I'll put alerts and then double check. But if I'm at the charts and price, for example, here moves sharply into my direction, I might remove my TP, or I might not have one from the start. I might remove it, and once price breaks below, I'll just put it back where it was. And then my best case becomes my worst case. And in that case, it would have worked perfectly because we never retested that level. If this, for example, was my TP. And then from there, like my 2.5 all trade is the worst I'll get. And then, I don't know, when I'm happy with it, I close it, or I'll let it drag and then aggressively drag my stop loss in profit. So this could have turned into a really nice trade. I could have, you never know, it's hindsight. Maybe when this started to move and we had a bit of a rejection, this possibility, we just tapped those lows, that I would have gone, yeah, I don't really like it, I go break even, and I would have gone stopped at break even. You never know. But yeah, this was nice. It's okay, I respected my plan. I'm patient. I don't mind. I didn't lose money. This is what I was thinking about before, those railroad track. Still not massive profit. If it was there on Ethereum, it's probably better. And then every trade that I'm right, but I don't take, still learning, still teachings. So, even if I had my stop to that second peak, It's 1 hour. Do you close here at 1 hour because it's still rejecting the low of previous day? And you're like, it's missing, a bit of and you would have been, what's that? It's only 35 minutes in the trade. Still consolidating above the EMAs. Either you close it at 1 hour because you don't take the risk, or you're happy to go break even now. What's that for fees? 33. 33.8 times 1750 times 0.0004. $23, $24 for 250 risk, so it's fine. $50. If you go break even, lose $50, which is a fifth of your risk. It's fine. It's not dramatic. Sometimes, if you were to have this stop loss here, get $100 fees. Even if you go break even, you still lose that $100. That's almost half your risk. How much? You probably have like cheap fees on the DAX. It's only in crypto that we got crazy fees like this. Like people that trade S&P and Nasdaq, it's only like a tiny percentage per contract or something. I'm gonna turn that heater off. I'm cooking in here. Yeah, I wouldn't like to be in that long if I was. It's too slow. Five-minute candle. See, that's how it's good to have that alarm that rings every 5 minutes. Still holding all the EMAs, 5 minute. Reclaiming yesterday's range. Very slow open. So long to wait for an ideal setup. It doesn't look like it's going to present. And I had many times where you think that and you're like, oh, I'll leave the session, and 10 minutes after, boom, you give up just before it presents. Oh, just when I said that, you get a bit of action. Told you. Let's just say, bad environment. Yeah, this is crap. That's when you're happy you didn't take anything aggressive. And exactly like what we were talking about before. If you're in this long, this short, you stop loss here. What do you do in that case when, price looks like it's gonna break and reclaim the previous day's range, but still rejecting it too? And you had your target all the way up here, like I was potentially suggesting before, those highs, that supply, will maybe just retest that low, 50% of Asia, which makes sense with this high, almost a 2-hour trade, that makes sense. And I said, do you bring your stop loss to break even because it doesn't break the way you want it to break, and you take the risk of giving some fees back to the market? Or are you happy to close at 1-hour? Or you bring your stop right there, very aggressive, but in that case you don't know neither. Price might stop you out, keep going, you're gonna hate yourself. That's the difficult part about trading, is you never know. It's anything can happen. Just look at this. No clean reason. You couldn't say there was an entry there. That is clearly not. Whatever system you're trading. Might have more luck tomorrow after the FOMC minutes. Now it's a bit like this morning, when once this move happened, I decided that, yeah, the setup was there, missed that. I stayed longer. Don't remember when I stopped the stream, but I stayed longer, and then I usually stay until 1:30 my time, 3 hours into the session. I actually stopped right when I stopped the stream. I missed that entry, that move. Okay, call it a day. The less time I spend at the charts, the better. I'll just have more time for personal life stuff and rest. Thing is, we're not even an hour into the session, almost. So we did tap that 200 EMA now on the 1 hour, which I was suggesting either we were gonna retrace here, tap that before going to the 200. We tapped it on Bitcoin, but not Ethereum. Or were we gonna just keep leading until we tap it? I was thinking this was gonna be a slow bleed until we tap it, which is Monday's low as well. 15-minute 200 EMA. It's the 1 hour 200. 800 divided by 4. 200. 1 hour divided by 4. 15 minutes. Exact same thing. Just doesn't work from the 5 to the 15. We're getting a reaction here. Not even fucking went down right through it so far. February lows here on Ethereum that we had reclaimed. I feel lucky that I managed to pull along last week on Friday in this. When you look at this market structure, it's a bit average. That's why I try to focus, if I can, 5 minute, 2 minute, small risk to reward. We've got 3 clean drops now, one in every session. Well, we had it up here on US, but from the highs, from the second peak of the 15-minute 1 hour M. 1, 2, 3. And then tapping that 200, but we're actually going through it now. Honestly, want to call it now. It's not nice. I don't think anything will result from that after that move, like any good trade. Really good call again on not entering that counter trend trade long of those lows. A lot of people, I won't say a lot of people, but yeah, I think a decent amount of people would have when Bitcoin reclaimed, just swept Asia lows, reclaimed previous day's range. It had divergence between the two assets. It looked good, Ethereum. You could have said this was 3 drops, 1, 2, 3. It actually made sense. Break the 50, and we're on 15 actually. Even break the 50 to the 200, retest the 50, break the 200, retest the 200. Third drop. I still call that 1, 2, and that's the third because this is just pretty much a range. It's not a massive move on that drop in the middle, but another session with no trades. And that's okay. I hope I can show, like, I'm not, I don't know everything, but I hope I can show the people that you just have to wait until you get what you want. If you manage to look through a whole week of trading and be there 1 session a day, every day, and even 2, like I do two sessions on my days off work. If you can attend all these sessions and take no trades, good on you. It means you're strong mentally, or you're just not confident enough to enter those trades. But nah, I think it's good. I think you're more tempted to always try to get a trade than just watch and do nothing. It's now a 30 into the stream, and we're still dumping, so I'm cutting it. It's now a 30 into the session. Oh no, that's not. An hour into the session. Now the move might be Asia down, UK down. We're really going now. If you're lucky, is this zone still relevant? Not really, we've already retested it. But maybe retest that 200 before US and keep dumping. Or you're gonna have a shenanigan move and retrace all the way up here to dump. Possible two. This is my two scenario for US tonight, or maybe this will happen end of UK, second half of UK. I'm gonna keep an eye on my phone every 15-minute candle. I'll get an alert. Have a look at the charts. If something present, I'll go back to my laptop. Otherwise, this is me for today. All right. Cheers, guys, for watching. See you next time.